A lot of people will say that they don't understand why God says a man is not supposed to lay with a man and a woman should not lay with a woman. You know, God clearly says that these people will use their bodies for the very thing, or for everything except for what it was made for. And that's not saying that you are specifically designed to reproduce and that's it. You're designed to have a life, to find the truth, find your purpose. And inevitably, when you find the truth, then you find God. Because a holy God can't be reached through lies. He can see all your lies. And he knows when you're trying to reach the truth for some kind of sick vendetta just to use it for manipulation on others. Anybody who wants to find the truth of God so they can manipulate others with it, they won't find it. They may think they have found it. But as long as they remain in the darkness, they will not be able to comprehend the light. And God is not trying to just boss you around, okay? Just because there's some parents on this earth, in some places, that may be bossy to their kids, just to be bossy. It's different with God. God is not a mere, simple human being. He's neither male nor female. He is the Trinity combined into one. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit as one. Just as well as Jesus basically, literally is God, and God is Jesus. They are within each other 100,000 quintillion% and beyond for eternity. God is not trying to boss you around and tell you what to do. And even if you say, well, it doesn't hurt anybody, what's the problem? That's not what God is trying to get at. Because God's not over here worried about everybody except for you. If that's what he was worried about, then he'd be bossing you around. He's trying to explain what not to do because he's trying to save you from yourself. Is there not constant error with man and being a human being in general? Can any of you say that every single thing you do is perfect without error or mistake? And everything you do is completely correct and every conclusion you've come to is completely correct? No. There's things that even the smartest scientists have thought they were correct about in space just to find out they weren't. They laughed at the people who truly were confidently saying there's millions of other planets out there. The most intelligent scientists laughed at them for saying that just to find out later there is. God is not here just to tell you what to do. And if you have only given it consideration in the perspective that you received from your own mind without understanding that even you misunderstand things sometimes, don't we all? If there was a one true God, he would be of truth, not of lies. Because lies don't bring life, they bring death. Okay? Which means the one true God would be the only God we have because we are alive, we have life. But the one who brings death is the one who brings lies. And you know who the father of lies is. So you can spend your life debating on whether God is real or not because of your own perceptions that you're not even considering could very well be wrong. You could have misunderstood something. Not to mention, have you taken the time to go into a place of privacy and speak to God through the air and ask him for the truth? And if it's because you don't trust the Bible and you think it's man-made, why don't you ask him for the truth untouched by man completely? Satan is the father of lies for a reason, because he opposes everything that God is. Because Satan is full of pride and ego. Just because what you do, you may think it doesn't hurt anyone. It's not hurting anyone, so what's the problem? I'm willing to bet there's something within you that you're not bringing to light to others. And you're playing it cool, but it's going to eat your ass alive if you don't take a second to consider maybe you don't have it all figured out yet. None of us are perfect. And you're in no way obligated to be perfect and have it all figured out in the way that these scientists and higher-ups in this world make it seem like you should. You know, mocking you for your mistakes because you're not perfect or what the fuck ever they consider perfect. In no way, shape, or form are you obligated to be perfect, nor are you obligated to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago. Every second you are breathing, you have every right to choose to do something different. And you don't have to be embarrassed either. All of these people who say the Bible's man-made, I can bet my life on the fact that they probably have never considered approaching God himself in privacy. You know, because if God isn't real, then what's it to at least try? Why avoid trying so hard to speak to him in privacy and ask for the truth, untouched by man and untouched by corruption, and make it clear that you were told by God that if you ask, you shall receive. I'm not talking about the things that we misunderstand and misinterpret. I'm not talking about some deep interpretation or debate. I'm talking about a simple sentence and saying in the Bible. It is very simple. Ask and you shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. Right? Satan is purposely oppressing God in every way. When it comes to the truth in this world, do you not have to dig really hard just to find it? And if it is there, it's hard for you to believe it in the first place, right? Because it's hard to trust anybody. If you actually think the Bible is just man-made, okay, you need to ask God for the truth untouched by man, because not only does that completely remove even your own perception from getting in the way, or anyone's, in the entire human race. And you ask for the truth untouched by corruption and untouched by lies. That makes it clear that you are also asking for a truth that you are not asking to be touched by any dark principality that may bring about a thought or, a conclusion in your mind or to your soul that you may think is the truth when it's really something that was manipulated into looking like the truth by a principality. They can't do that because you specifically asked for the truth untouched by corruption, untouched by deception, untouched by lies, untouched by man. God is completely holy, and you will not reach him unless it is through the truth. You know why? What in the world would anybody be able to just reach God in any way, shape, or form if it was through a lie? How or why would that even be possible, and how would that make sense? Not only that, but it's completely disrespectful. Do you think God's just going to dish you knowledge when your intention for what you say is, you wanting the truth, but your real intention is something manipulative and dark and deceptive? In what way, shape, or form do you think God is dumb enough to dish you knowledge and truth if and when he knows that's not actually what you're looking for? It's a different vendetta. Do not play God for a fool. We are not always right. We don't have it all figured out. You don't have to have control over everything to be at peace, because you can't control everything. You can't. We can't even control ourselves sometimes. And understanding things doesn't mean you can control it. It just means you understand them, if it's the right understanding. If you didn't misunderstand it. See, it just goes on and on and on. Before you discredit something and you completely call it untrue and not real, I strongly urge any and all of you who think that or feel this way to consider that I'm not here offending you or trying to boss you around or force an agenda upon you at all. I'm telling you right now, when I met God, I didn't even know that that's what was happening and what was being done through my soul. I was going to kill myself if I couldn't find the truth in something. And I knew God was real, and I knew I could trust him. But something in me would not let me trust him. PTSD will do that to you. Constant, deep betrayal will do that to you. Pretty sure, especially these days, every single one of you knows what I'm talking about. You can't expect people to be obligated to just believe something just because you said they should. That's completely unfair. Why don't you just do a U-turn and have people put all their fucking faith in man again? I mean, that's basically what it's being done. If somebody doesn't trust the Bible because it was written by man, or because they think it's man-made, then they probably have trust issues. Justly so. I used to be there. But I knew there was a God, because when I was being held captive, raped, sodomized, tortured, beaten, burned, interrogated over something that not only didn't exist, but I never did. I was having to say I did the most horrendous things I never did, because I thought if I was saying what they were trying to force me to say I did, they would stop hitting me and hurting me, but no, they didn't. They actually went on to explain and brag about how they were cheating on me, going as far as even bragging about the person's privates that they were cheating on me with, as to insinuate they were much better than any of me, or all, just as if they as a person was and were just completely better than anything I could ever be. When I was being held captive, I had tried to escape multiple times. Every time I ran to that door, my hair was flying behind me, and I got grabbed by my hair and ripped back. But that last day, that 5th day, I was being cornered. I was exhausted. I didn't have any sleep because I wasn't allowed to sleep. I wasn't allowed to eat. I wasn't allowed to cry. I wasn't allowed to cover my face anymore when I was getting hit. I wasn't allowed to say, please stop hitting me, because obviously when somebody's hitting you constantly, over and over and over, almost beating you to death, you're going to probably say, please stop hitting me. You're going to probably cry. You're going to probably be crying. I wasn't allowed to do any of those things, and I also wasn't allowed to use the bathroom. Or put my clothes on. And that 5th day, I was being cornered, and I was asking him, "Are you gonna start hitting me again?" And he was like, mocking me, and he was saying, "I don't know, am I?" And he was inching towards me, and then something, not audible, but something in the spirit told me, "Go." And it was like there was a pause on time, and I immediately felt peace. I knew to go, and I hopped. We had a sectional couch. It went like this, and I hopped on each cushion to the front door, opened the front door, and went out. And as I was going across the couch to get out, in my peripheral, I could see him still standing just like he was when I ran from him, as if time had stopped. And people can say it's adrenaline or what have you. The most glorious things have been done through God. And I'm not going to discredit what he did for me just because of what statistics say happens with adrenaline. Because I'm pretty sure adrenaline doesn't make raindrops fall from the sky in slow motion either. Because that's what was happening when I finally ran out the door. So I knew God was real. I knew something definitely was real. And it's definitely God. Maranatha. Do not discredit something just because you think you got it all figured out. Unless you are perfect and you have never made a mistake and you have never done anything wrong. Okay then. But I'm pretty sure that doesn't apply to any of you or me. So you can either let everyone else's perception and your perception tell God's story for him, or you could, allow him to tell his story to you himself. But that takes actually asking him for the truth, because he's not going to force it upon you. And then, in doing so, especially those of you who have a hard time trusting the Bible, you'll come to see that the Bible really was inspired by the Holy Spirit. You will encounter Jesus. And you will understand that even through translations, things have been misperceived, because each English translation of the Bible is different. The wording's different. And it's really annoying. I don't know why where was it necessary to change that? And it kind of makes me feel like, how dare you? I mean, not only that, but each language, like I said not long ago in one of my other videos, every language, each word has a different meaning. Like one word could have a different meaning The same word could have a different meaning in each language. I couldn't trust the Bible just yet. Not only that, but I couldn't understand it yet. Because I knew it took the flesh hands of a man to write it. Now, you can either get mad at people and think they're obligated to trust what man hands to them, or understand that these days we all have trust issues, and God definitely doesn't expect us to put all of our trust in man just because man tells us we should believe in something. How is somebody supposed to believe in God if they haven't even had an encounter with him, or, come to the understanding within their consciousness that he actually is there? It has to start somewhere. You can't just force the Bible upon them and expect them to just believe it without having any foundation of any consciousness or understanding or realization of how real God really is yet. You seek the truth, you truly desire the truth, go to God in privacy and ask. So I promise you, you need to be careful the way you word it and make it clear you ask for the truth, untouched by man and untouched by corruption. And you wish not, and you are not desiring or asking for anything of any demonic darkness or anything that is of anything but the truth to bring you something that's not the truth and make it look like the truth. Make it clear you're not asking for that, but you're asking for the pure truth as it was before anyone could ever write it down in their own way. But you want the truth directly from the Father of truth, because he definitely is that. Maranatha.